Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Lori. I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and I'm here today to show you another what sold video. I'm not just going to go through every piece and say this is what I made, this is what it sold for sort of thing. I have categories that I'm going to go over with you today and I've gotten some nice feedback on that. So just really quickly, I'll talk to you about the categories that I'm going to discuss with you today as far as what sold. So I'm going to go over fast flips, things that sold in like 2 days or less. I have 6 items. I'm going to tell you what items sold for the highest dollar amount. And I like to give a little background to each piece that I sell and talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about bundles. I'm going to talk about a category that surprised me this month and tell you the items that sold in that. I'm going to talk to you about my best-selling brand of the month and pieces that maybe you shouldn't overlook or that I once overlooked and am now paying a little closer attention to. So I really enjoy doing these videos. I love reflecting on the month, kind of seeing my stats from month to month. Did I do better than July? Did I, do I need, is there a lot of room for improvement? There always is. But anyways, this is recapping the month of August 2019. In case you're just tuning in for the first time, I do videos that deal with reselling. So I shop all over the place at different thrift stores, the Goodwill outlets. I do a little bit of retail arbitrage. Sometimes I'm given things from people and I clean them up, I make them beautiful, and I sell them primarily on Poshmark. I'm approaching 1,000 listings on Poshmark. I think I'm at like 915. So working hard. I also have another series where I focus on staying on top of my inventory and tackling different things that are like adding up. So right now I'm in the process of filming, tackling my shoe issues. I have 150 shoes and only about 75 are listed. So I'm working on getting those other 75 listed. And these are just things that have been adding up over time and I'm just kind of cleaning house. So without further ado, let's talk about some numbers. So really quickly, for the month of August, my sales were up from last month. So this month in total, I sold 76 items on Poshmark. I'm only talking about Poshmark, by the way. I think I sold like 4 items on eBay. I don't think anything was over $20. So I only have like 25 items listed there versus like the 920 on Poshmark. So I don't even know why I talk about eBay anymore because I feel like I should be working my business a little more on eBay. But anyway, my sales were $2,324, and that is up $301 from the month of July. In July, I made $2,000, I'm trying to do the math here, $23. So yeah, I was happy to see a $300 increase. I sold 76 items this month on Poshmark, and last month I sold 70. So yes, we're starting to trend in the direction of busier times, I'm hoping. Okay, so after Poshmark fees, I made $1,859. Actually, I take that back. One of the things that I noted this month was that out of the 76 items that I sold, 7 or 8 of them I gave discounts to, which actually surprised me. I feel like I'm constantly doing discounted shipping offers. I am always sending them out. And it's interesting to me that only 7 or 8 were with discounted shipping, and that 68 or 69 pieces were just flat out sold things. I don't know, that surprised me. I honestly, if you would ask me, I would have said that maybe half of my pieces were with discounted shipping. So I thought that was really interesting. I love the stats that these what sold videos give you. Okay, I'm almost 5 minutes in and I haven't told you anything that sold. So yes, that also does not include, I'm sorry, my cost of goods, which are all over the map because I shop everywhere. When I'm giving you my categories, I'll talk a little bit about the things that sold. And the last category I forgot to mention, which is probably my most popular one as far as the feedback I get from people, is my By Felicia category, which is getting rid of stale stuff that's been around forever. I actually had a viewer that just sent me, I wish I had your name right now. If I remember to look, I'll post it down below, but she sent me an image of a By Felicia shirt on Poshmark, and it was a small. Otherwise, I would have bought it. Maybe I'll get it for next month's What Sold video. But we all have those pieces that we are more than happy to say goodbye to. So I will talk about those. So first things first, let's get started with fast flips. I have 6 pieces in this category. 3 out of the 6 items are shoes, and 2 out of the 6 items are jeans, which if you've been following me on my organization series, I did a whole episode on listing a ton of jeans. So one pair of jeans that sold were these Madewell, like a charcoal grayish black high-waisted skinny jean in a size 31 that I found in my inventory unlisted. And I was quite disappointed in myself because Madewell are some of my best-selling jeans. So I listed those and they sold very quickly. I don't have exactly how fast these items sold. I remember a couple, but the Madewell jeans were within a couple of days. These are all less than 5 days to sell. So, and they sold, I believe, for my full asking price, which is $48. So that was a great one. The next item that sold was another pair of jeans. These aren't really in any particular order, but another pair of jeans that was sitting unlisted were a pair of these Michael Kors white jeans, and these sold in a day. I think I listed them for $35 and I quickly received a $25 offer, which I accepted, but they were really beautiful. They were in excellent condition and they had all gold hardware on the tags. I'm not a huge Michael Kors fan, but these jeans were really pretty and I wanted to have some white jeans in my inventory. And I was frustrated because it was the end of the season and I hadn't listed them yet. So I was really happy to see those be listed and sell so quickly. So those are the 2 jeans that sold. Oh, this piece was really interesting. I talked a lot last month about picking up American Eagle stuff, which is just a mall brand that does pretty well for me. Very consistent sales. And this airy sweater, I found at the bins, and it was just like a very oversized, cozy blush color. Really pretty. And I got so much attention on this, like immediately. Lots and lots and lots of likes. I had it priced at $30 or $35. I did have a stock photo, the stock photo that I'm showing here, and I am pretty certain that that stock photo helped sell it because it just looks so cozy in the photo. So anyways, this sold for $25 and it was a bins pickup, so that was great. 2 other items, my last 2 items here, oh, I'm sorry, 3, I apologize, were all bins pickups, and they were all shoes. So these were pretty good. So this next item that I'm going to show you, these green Birkenstocks, they're like an olive green, and they were a men's size 11. And at the bins where I go in New Hampshire, you're taking your life into your hands when you go over to the shoe table, because the way that it's situated, there's only 3 sides to it because one side is pushed up against a wall. So people cram in there and they only bring over 1 table at a time. So it is like every man for themselves. And I happen to see the crowds like gather, and I was across looking at clothes. So I scooted over, and as I was walking, I saw this Birkenstock shoe pointing out. So I just followed it right to the corner and I grabbed it. And I also grabbed 2 other shoes here, boots that I'm going to talk about. Anyways, I couldn't find it anywhere. Somebody else had grabbed it. So I took the boots and I took those and I got the heck out of there because it was crazy. And then later I saw a woman walking around with the Birkenstocks, and I had a pair of like, I don't know, like 9 West boots, or I had 1 loose shoe that I wasn't crazy about, but I grabbed it because it was so crazy there. Anyway, she had the Birkenstock and the 9 West or whatever. I don't think it was. And I had the Birkenstock. So I went over to her and I asked her if she would trade. Kind of watched her get settled. I saw her with the green Birkenstock. I asked her if she would trade. I definitely felt like I had like the better of the 2, but she agreed. It was great. We both went home with a pair as opposed to singles. Anyway, I got an offer on this the very next day after I posted. I posted them for $35. I got an offer for $25. I countered at $30, And then the buyer went away and I was like, darn it, Lori, you just listed it. And he came back the next day and re-offered the $25. And I slept on it and I was like, you know what? This is a fast flip. I'm going to take it. So I did. The other shoes were these beautiful, I don't know how I got these in that crazy mayhem, but they are the Lucky L Western boot, like pull-up boots. These were gorgeous. They were in gorgeous condition. After I pulled out that one Birkenstock, I happened to see these two boots and I just got lucky and grabbed them and ran. There was little to no wear on these. I listed them at $65. I got an offer for $50 and I accepted. Also, I'm trying to be a little quicker with my shoe offers. Like I can't push back too much because I have 75 to list and I'm still buying new shoes. So fall is a really good time for shoes and boots and bulky things that are in my inventory. So I'm very excited about that. But these were gorgeous and they sold in a day for $50. The last thing that was a fast flip that I want to talk about were these Dansko wedges, these metallic Dansko wedges. And I just want to look at my computer to see if I can get the actual name of them. They were called the Dansko Sage Wedge Sandal, and they were metallic. They were like a limited edition. And Danskos to me are just more of like a staple type of thing. You know, I pick up the traditional clogs. They'll sell between $25, $35. These were gorgeous, gorgeous, and they were brand new. They are from my last Goodwill Outlet haul. If you want to look back on that, I'll link that below as well. But amazing finds in the shoe category. And I actually sold a pair of corgis this morning. But these sold for, I listed them for $125. The woman sent me an offer for $80 after like a day or two. And then I countered at $100. I countered at $100. She came back at $90 and then she canceled her offer. Well, no sooner did she cancel the offer did she send me a new offer for $100. So I think she was as nervous about losing them as I was. And I think she thought maybe the $90 offer was not good enough. So anyways, I accepted those. Those sold in a day for $100. That was probably my best flip and my highest profit of the month. Okay, so moving on, since we're talking about highest profits, I will talk next about my, not necessarily highest profits, but my highest selling, highest priced items and what they sold for. So interestingly enough, a few of these pieces were, well, one was the Dansko, so I don't need to go over that again. So that sold, sorry, I'm getting all these messages. That sold in a day for $100. I had one other item sell for $100, and that was something I purchased on Retail Arbitrage. It was this gorgeous, gorgeous pair of Johnny Was like velvety boots. And these I purchased at TJ Maxx for $44. They were originally $495. And I think I could have maybe made more this fall on those shoes, but I bought them at the end of the season, like going into spring, summer. So I paid $44 for them and they've been sitting in my closet since then. So I listed them, I'm guessing March, April, because they were a yellow tag, I think. Anyway, I had them listed closer to $200. And then I've been slowly lowering the price. They had a lot of interest, but finally I got a $100 offer and I was really happy to take that and happy that someone was gonna get these gorgeous boots at a good price for Johnny Was. They were gorgeous. The most exciting thing that I sold in this category, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me feature these sneakers, but I bought these sneakers at, I'm trying to find, I bought these sneakers at Savers. They were these ginormous Converse sneakers. I had never seen them before. They were leather and they had all these cool images. On the tongue of the sneakers was an address. So they had all these like hip hop looking images on like singers. And I'm just gonna Google search birthplace of hip hop. I'm so sorry. So it said 1520 Sedgwick Avenue on the tongue of these sneakers. And I'm like, this has to be something significant. I went home There were absolutely no comps on these sneakers, but they were too cool. They were like a size 12 or 13. Anyways, they sold full price for $79, and I was really excited about them. I think they were marked $13.99 at Savers, and they had a 20% off coupon. That was a really fun flip for me. And again, I didn't see any comps on them anywhere. It was the collaboration with Red, which was, help me out on this. You know, it says R-E-D in the parentheses, and I believe when you collaborate, it's money that goes towards the AIDS Foundation. There's more detail to that. But anyways, these sneakers were in collaboration with that. So very cool pair of sneakers out the door. Another thing that I got on Retail Arbitrage was this Maeve, this gorgeous Maeve jumpsuit. This sold in a day. I believe I listed it at $75 or $70, and I got an offer for $50, and I accepted. I ended up purchasing 2 of these Maeve jumpsuits from Anthropologie. I believe my price was $9.99 or $19.99. I think they were $19.99 and then 50% off at the register. So that was like a really good deal. So that was beautiful. I still have one more if anyone's interested. I sold the medium and I have a large left. Okay, the final thing that I sold, it was also a really fun item. It was this 4-piece vintage Cutco utensil set that I found at a yard sale. I have a friend whose daughter started selling Cutco knives this summer, and me being the bargain hunter, it absolutely killed me. She called to come over and do like a demonstration, and I couldn't not buy knives from the kid. She cause she's in college, she's trying to save money. She came over, she gave me her whole spiel. She did a really good job. The knives are like amazing. But yes, so I spent $300 on 6 steak knives. Let's all just soak that in for a second. I was like, oh my gosh. And I swear, like, I actually felt bad because she seemed disappointed that I wasn't getting like a whole set, like a $1,200 set, which like a couple of my friends did. I'm like, you girls are cray-cray. These are knives, and they're the best they're table knives. They're not even steak knives. The best knives ever I've owned in my life. So highly recommend. But anyways, when I was out yard sailing, because I had just spent all that money on a set of knives, I saw these wooden Cutco pieces, and the woman was selling them for $1 a piece. So they cost me $4. It was one of my first listings in the home category on Poshmark. They sat for a while. I think I listed them at $75. I noticed that there were other people who were selling them on Poshmark because it felt really weird to have all these cute items of clothing in a set of utensils from Cutco. But they had the wooden handle, they were vintage, and I sold them for $50. So that was, excuse me, a really nice profit margin that I made on those. So those were my highest selling. So two things at $100, one $79 item, and then 3 items at $50. And then everything was south of that for the rest of my sales. Oh, and I forgot to mention that my average selling price this month was up like $1 and change. It was $30.58. What should we talk about next? I had a lot of bundles this month, so I will talk quickly about bundles. I don't know how much detail I'm gonna give, but I could give a little. I had 5 bundles this month, up from 2 bundles last month. I was really happy to see those bundles come through. So on the 5 bundles, I had $363 in sales, which was about 1/7 of my total sales for the month. So I was really happy about those. The one that I really want to talk about the most, there were 2 that I'm going to feature. So I'm going to talk about 2 and put the pictures up here. One was this Talbots Chico's bundle. And Talbots and Chico's are 2 brands that a few videos ago I said I wasn't going to source anymore, and I wasn't going to list on Poshmark anymore, that I had planned to move those pieces to eBay or pull them because some of the pieces I had were just sitting. And I don't know about you, but when I'm out thrifting and shopping, I mean, the amount of pieces I see from Chico's and J. Jill and Coldwater Creek and Talbots is just like, I see so much of it. And a lot of times they're really beautiful quality pieces. It's just for, I think, a more mature audience. But anyways, sometimes with mature audience comes a good bank account. So I just keep thinking to myself, I keep passing on these pieces, and some of the pieces are really beautiful. And so I decided that I'm going to kind of hunt for, not necessarily hunt, but I'm not going to overlook these pieces when they're beautiful. So 2 of my bundles included pieces from Talbots and Chico's, and what was the other one? Maybe 2 from Talbots. I didn't write them all down. Anyway, 1 I believe was sold to a viewer, and I was so excited. I've now made 2 or 3 sales to people who watch my YouTube videos, which blows my mind because I never thought I would be that person who made sales from YouTube. And so I was really excited. But anyways, 1 was this beautiful silk pullover caftan, and then she also bundled this piece from Chico's, and we negotiated, and my price was $56 for those 2 pieces. That was a very long explanation for that bundle. Thank you if you're still with me in my long-winded stories behind each and every piece. But don't overlook some of those pieces. You just never know. Well, I'm not going to overlook them. You do you. But I'm starting to pay closer attention to those pieces, and also career pieces. I sold a Talbot's dress this month, and I want to say it was a $45 sale on a size 16 black Talbot's career dress that I picked up at the bins. So I don't know. I'm starting to look a little more closely at those brands and just be very selective, but not exclude them. Okay, the other one, this was a really fun bundle. It sold for $100, and all 3 pieces, and they sold towards the end of the month, and all 3 pieces were like summer pieces. So 1 was a pair of, I believe they were Tommy Bahama floral like swim trunks. And then there were 2 pieces that I picked up at a sale. I'd never heard of this brand at the time. And you bet, had I heard of this brand, I would have bought so many more. But anyways, 2 Rain Spooner, R-E-Y-N Spooner, men's Hawaiian shirts. When I say that at this church sale, there were maybe 25 pieces. Stephanie, if you're watching, I know you picked up 1 too. I hope yours sold as well. But Rain Spooner, they had them marked for $4. And then when the sale had a half hour left, they said, everything's half off. So I picked up 3, 1 sold on eBay a few months ago. I think I picked up 4, and then there was another brand there, and I picked up 2 of those just based on they were like new. There were a ton of them, men's Hawaiian, they were double XLs. So anyway, and then after the half hour, when the sale was like officially over, they extended it for 30 minutes, and it was fill-a-bag, and that's when I got mad at my husband, because that was when he's like, I'm gonna wait in the car. So I felt this pressure to not stay for the fill-a-bag. So I stayed for the half off, but not the fill-a-bag. Anyways, Rain Spooner. So 2 Hawaiian shirts and a pair of swim trunks, late August, $100 bundle. I was so excited. I think I had the shirts marked at like $50 or something around there. So basically, in my eyes, he got the shorts for free, which were either sourced at Savers for like $4 or they were from the bins. So that was great. So I was excited about those bundles. So what category shall we go next? Oh, why don't we do By Felicia? By Felicia. These are the pieces that stayed around forever, for longer than I wanted. And I'll give you a little bit about them. And I have 9 here, but I don't think I'm going to go over all 9. I'm going to feature 4 or 5, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how many likes these items have. Do you have any of those pieces that everybody and their sister seems to love the piece, but no one's pulling the trigger on it? And they're not even expensive pieces. Like, I understand if you have like a designer piece, if you have a Gucci bag and you have it listed at $500, you'll get a lot of likes because people are hoping you're going to discount it, offer them free shipping. But these are like $30, $40 items that just weren't moving. Okay, so we're gonna start with this pair of pants that I was dying to get rid of, and they are so cute. The brand is CYO. It's from Urban Outfitters. They were a men's pair of pants, joggers in that like army green, super cute. They had 35 likes on them. You can tell by the background, they were listed for a while. If you've been watching my videos, you know if there's a brick background, it's usually from October or prior to that, because I had about a month where I had this brick background and I was very excited about it. And then I switched to a plain background, but this is from that era. Anyway, I started them around $25 or $30, and in the end they sold for $12, and I believe I gave a discount on this too. I was so happy to see those go, and they were really cute. I don't know why they didn't move. I don't know if like $30 for an Urban Outfitters piece was too expensive to start. Possibly, probably. I mean, they probably retailed for $59 at Urban Outfitters, but I don't pick up a ton from Urban Outfitters anymore, but when I do, I probably started a little lower. That was when I was relatively new and was still working on my pricing. So the next item that I'm going to feature is this Primark sweater that my son Anthony bought for my daughter Angelina for Christmas. It was this really cute Fair Isle sweater. And I guess Angie decided it just wasn't her thing, so she never wore it. The tags were still on it. This had 28 likes, and this I did not start expensive because the price tag was on it. I think it retailed for maybe $25 to start. So maybe even if I priced it at the retail price, the MSRP at $25, that's not a lot. It got so many likes and so much attention. I had people put, you know, when people put things in bundles, like just one item, there was a lot of that, but it stuck around forever. And again, maybe it was when I listed it. Maybe it was because I listed it at the end. But by this time, actually a lot of these things that I'm looking at, like the Under Armour pants, no, those were actually appropriate for the season. But maybe I just listed this sweater, too late in the winter season. So anyway, finally sold it for $15. These mules, the brand is called Coconuts, and these give me like the Johnny Was vibes or Free People vibes. I thought these were so cute. I loved the embroidery. They were in great condition. I think I paid probably like $7-ish for these at Savers. And these were a pair that I was like a trust your gut pair. I'm like, I just love these. These are gonna sell. Anyways, they sat for a long time, 25 likes on them, and then in the end, they sold for $22 with discounted shipping. But you know what I said to them? I said, bye, Felicia, out the door. I have so many things that I'm trying to move out to make room for holiday and more sweaters. One of my bye, Felicia pieces was, I'll show it really quickly. It's just this Land's End sweater, and I believe it was a 1X, and it was just this gorgeous heavy cotton. Reminded me of the classic J. Crew roll neck sweater. And I found it at the bins. Anyways, it was just taking up a lot of room because I had it like in a bin, and it was just a very substantial sweater, and it sat for a while. So that I let go for $15 because I'm just excited to get new sweaters to look at in my inventory. And this is sweater season, and sweaters take up a lot of room. So I'm definitely taking offers on some sweaters that have been sitting and out the door. This one, so I think I've mentioned before, I know I have, that my dad shares my closet in the morning, and we got together for breakfast at my mom and dad's last weekend, and he had some issues with some of the items that I listed. And he was like really just throwing a lot of shade at this My Little Pony t-shirt. He said, I can't believe you finally sold that damn pony t-shirt. I was like, wow, Dad, you're pretty passionate about that. He's like, what? Why would you ever buy a pony, like a cartoon pony? And my mom's like, Frank, don't you remember My Little Pony? Like from when Lori was little, there's like little dolls. They're called My Little Pony. And I'm like, Dad, go easy on the ponies. But he was like, I couldn't believe you sold that t-shirt. Well, that t-shirt had 37 likes. I got it for $1 at a yard sale, and I had it like at $20 for a really long time. Maybe started it at 24. I think it lived at 18 for a very long time, and I sent out offers as low as 15 with discounted shipping, and then finally I'm like, it's time for the pony to trot away. So anyways, I finally sold it for $10, but I just thought that was really funny that my dad had such an issue with the t-shirt. The last thing that I'm going to mention are these jeans. So they are in my By Felicia category, but they are also in another category that's pretty awesome. So these Lucky jeans. So these are the Lucky Zoe jeans. I have sold these, these embroidered jeans several times. I've sold 2 other pairs of Lucky Zoes that are a boot cut with embroidery. They're very much like a hippie vibe for $45 and $50. So there was no reason for me to believe that these wouldn't sell for a comparable price, but they didn't. They sat forever and ever and ever. They weren't quite as embroidered and embellished as some of the other Zoe jeans that I've sold, but they have sat forever. And so I finally took a $25 offer or lowered them to $25 and they finally sold. I don't even know, but I was so happy to see them go. Haven't been picking up a lot of boot cut. I haven't been picking up a lot of Lucky, which is interesting because as I shift into my next category, you'll know why. But yeah, I was happy to see those go. Really cute jeans. I think they might have been a small size. I don't have them in front of me right now. I just have my notes here. But anyways, happy to see those go. So the irony of that being in my By Felicia category is that Lucky brand was my top selling brand of the month. So I broke it down. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brands that I sold 2 or more pieces of. So I'll go over those brands with you really quickly. I just thought it was fun to note. 6 out of the 8 are mall brands. So what you would call like your bread and butter brands, maybe brands that people pass on now, I don't know. But I sold 2 Free People things, which is a consistent seller. I sell Free People every single month. I just sold a $50 Free People sweater yesterday. Free People is one of my favorite brands. 2 Free People. I sold 2 Aerie pieces. So a pair of leggings that I didn't talk about and that Aerie sweater that I got at the bin. So 2 Free People, 2 Aerie, 2 J. Crew. I sold a pair of loafers and I sold a long linen dress or a long cotton like caftan vibe dress from J. Crew. I sold 2 pieces from Madewell, the jeans I talked about, and also like a button-down plaid that I didn't feature. Funny enough, I sold 2 pieces from Life is Good, which we have a lot of Life is Good in my house. My mother-in-law gives it to the kids every year and they've just like, their styles have changed. So, or I pick it up at the bins because the quality is really nice and Life is Good, I believe, is located in Massachusetts. So we see a lot of it here. Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's this area. I had a good friend who worked for them for a very long time. So 2 Life is Good, 1 sold in a bundle and 1 sold on its own. Didn't sell for a lot, but it sold. I sold 2 pairs of Birkenstocks this month, 1 I mentioned. I sold 2 Loft items and I sold 5 pieces of Lucky. Did I say that already? That was supposed to be my big finale. I sold 5 pieces of Lucky brand. So I personally like Lucky brand, but I say it's hit or miss. I don't know if this was just a good month, but I had those Western boots that were stunning that sold. So I have the breakdown. I sold 2 pair of Lucky boots, 1 that I featured. I purchased I can put it up here too. I purchased a Lucky brand swimsuit at an estate sale that kind of had a bohemian vibe that was really pretty and it sold for decent money. I don't have it in front of me, I'm sorry, maybe $28. I sold the jeans, the Zoe jeans for $25. And then I sold this really cute pair of crocheted wedges, which I bought without looking at comps. And I thought they do amazing. And I came home and the comps were all over the place. And I feel like Poshmark was flooded with these crocheted shoes. And in the end, I think I lowered the price on a closet clear out day or something like that, but they sold for $30. And I was really happy with that because it was, again, getting to the end of the season. And I was like, oh, am I going to have these sandals all fall and winter? So yeah, let's hear it for Lucky brand. 5 of my pieces were Lucky. So yeah, so those were my best-selling brands. Okay, so we went over fast flips. We did our By Felicia section. We talked about my highest things that brought in the most money. I went over some bundles. I talked about pieces that I'm not really overlooking, the Talbots stuff, my best-selling brands. Okay, this is something that surprised me. So I have this what surprised me section, and then I'm going to do my trust your gut section, which I used to call because I loved it, but I don't necessarily always love these pieces, but sometimes my gut is telling me it's going to sell. So I changed that category to trust your gut. But let's do what surprised me first. I had 5 vintage pieces sell this month, and that really surprised me. That's why I love, so these are all my notes from, I like hand write everything. I just go on to my sales and I write everything down by hand. Things tend to like sink in better when I write them down. But I was really surprised that I sold 5 vintage pieces. So I'm curious how you do with vintage. I tend to be drawn to certain vintage pieces and I like carrying them in my closet, but I'm not known for vintage pieces. It's not like part of my style necessarily. I don't know. But I pick up what I like, and so I've picked up these vintage pieces and they've sold. So I'm just gonna go over quickly which ones sold. So the first one, which I've already covered, were the Cutco knives. Those were vintage, so that counts. I also picked up this leopard bikini. I don't know what the brand was, but it was definitely vintage. It was like a tankini, I believe. And it had like the high waist 90s look. And you know, I love leopard print, and it was vintage, and it was summertime. So, and that sold for a decent amount as well. Anyways, that was a great sale. Oh, this cool piece, this sold as part of the bundle, where I sold a North Face sweatshirt, a Madewell button down, and then this vintage Empire waist blouse. It was made out of cotton. It almost looks like it was handmade. I had a lot of interest on it. I've had people make offers that I've accepted and then their payment didn't go through. I've had people ask for measurements. I mean, a lot of activity on this vintage piece, and it was one of those things that I just loved. I think I got it at the bins, and it was interesting that it was put in a bundle with a North Face sweatshirt and a Madewell button down. So really no rhyme or reason, but I loved that piece and I was happy that that finally sold. Then I have this mustard colored like sweater that did have a brand attached to it, which I will write here. And that actually just sold like the very end of the month, like maybe August 31st. And I actually printed the label. I shipped it out today, and it was funny because it was going to a vintage retailer. It looked like somebody who maybe owned a vintage shop in, I believe it was New York City, which I thought was pretty cool. So I tend to like things that give me like that Mad Men vibes, that like 50s, 60 vibe. So anyways, that sold. And then this wristlet I thought was vintage, but then I had a viewer correct me and say, based on the stitching, she didn't think it was vintage, but I thought it was. And I thought it was gorgeous, and I just picked it up because I thought it was beautiful, and it fit like my large iPhone Max in it, and that's usually my criteria with a wristlet that is not a name brand. If I'm just picking it up on style, I make sure that the biggest iPhone will fit in it because I feel like that's kind of a deal breaker if your phone doesn't fit in a wristlet. So yeah, so the wristlet, the mustard sweater, the floral Empire waist, the leopard bikini, and the Cutco knives. I was really happy that I sold. That category surprised me this month. So we are going to end this video with my Trust Your Gut section. And I will go quickly through it because my time is really getting up there now. So the first thing that I sold was this Flashdance Tunic sweatshirt from Leg Avenue, which is kind of like a sexy Halloween costume company. It was, I got it at Savers for like $2, like on half off day. It was like marked $3.99 and I got it half off. But it was the incomplete costume, but I just was like, who wouldn't want a Flashdance sweatshirt? It was very thin. But anyways, I listed it. It sold for $25 relatively quickly. Didn't look up comps on that. I knew with Halloween coming, it was just a fun piece, and I loved that it was like casual. I felt like you could wear it as a costume, or somebody could just wear it with jeans or leggings or whatever. So bought that. The second thing that also sold, and I believe these sold for $35, There's been, I've seen a lot of resellers talk about whether or not to buy this brand, to buy it or not to buy it, but the designer is Donald Pliner. And I personally had never picked up a piece from him, but I was in love with these shoes and they were my size and they fit me beautiful. And honestly, I held them in my hand and I was like, these are just too gorgeous to leave here. And I paid up for them. And that was my big debate. I think they were $17 with a 20% discount. So say like $14.50. And they had a super, super pointed toe, which is not my style at all. But I was like, these are so cute. Anyway, I had them listed for like $50 or $60 for a while, lowered the price, and then I got an offer for $35. I did that without looking up comps. When I did get home with the shoes and I did look at comps, they weren't so promising. I mean, this particular style did decent at times, but if you're familiar with the brand, you'll know like a lot of designer pieces, you'll see things crazy inexpensive and then you'll see things over $100, $200. So I was happy I took a chance on that. The beaded wristlet was another one that I didn't look up, the vintage bead. I won't even put it up here because we just looked at it. And the last thing that I will talk about is this silk kimono. I believe the brand is, I don't know how it's pronounced, Banjara or Benhara, B-A-N-J-A-R-A. And it was a kimono, and I love kimono style, and it had fans on it. And it was 100% silk. And they had it marked at Savers for like $4.99, and so it was either half off day or 20% off. Either way, I spent like $3 or less on this kimono. And it sold for $49. And I think I saw one comp when I got home. Again, I've mentioned this in What Sold videos before. My Savers has terrible reception, and so I can't look up comps while I'm there, or it's very difficult to. So a lot of times when I'm at that Savers, I just have to purchase it. So because it's hard to look up comps, but I can return there. So I'm willing to take chances, but I took a chance on this. I think I paid $3. I think I found one comp when I got home and it was extremely high. So I listed it high, and I think this was a full price sale for $49. So that wraps up my what sale video for August of 2019. I hope you enjoyed my video. I think I'm going to stick to the once a month because I really like looking at a glance at my month. These videos tend to be longer than if I were to do what sold on a weekly basis, but I really like to compare from month to month how I'm doing. And yeah, so that is what's working for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up on your way out. And if you want to see more videos from me, some haul videos, some organization videos or shipping videos, any of that fun stuff, you can hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to hear from me. I look forward to seeing you in some future videos, and I hope you all are having wonderful sales and enjoying the upswing of the fall sales coming your way. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and have a great day. Bye.